Hello, Sumo fans, and welcome to another episode of the Sumo News. As the sun begins to rise on Nagoya Basho, guys are getting in gear, sharpening their skills and mentally preparing for battle on that clay. Before I get to the news, just a wee reminder that I won't be doing full news videos during Basho time as always, but if anything major does happen, you can expect a wee Sumo short or something like that to come your way. I will be posting some other content during the Basho, of course, here on YouTube, and you can stay up to date with everything happening in the Sumo world and the Basho by following our other social media platforms, all links in the description box below. Let's get to the news. I've put together some quotes and updates on training from some of our favourite Rikishi, so let's get right into it. First up, Ura has had some insights into his in-ring limitations this week that I found interesting because I fear he may be in his own head a little. He said, "I just want to be able to do sumo for the 15 days. Of course, this is him referring to going Kyujo on day 13 of the last Basho. He continued and said, "My technique and power are lacking at the moment. My injuries are preventing me from being where I want to be, but it has nothing to do with my turning 30. If not for my injuries, I could do more training. I have gained weight, but I have not been able to fully take advantage of that. That's where my potential lies." So guys, even though he did have to pull out of the last Basho, he did so with a 9-3, which is nothing to scoff at. That's a fine score, but my thoughts are, if his injuries are starting to really rear their ugly heads, his confidence could be dented, and then it's a slippery slope. Who thinks Ura's injuries playing up will hurt his confidence, or who thinks he will hold it together and gambarize and elasticize as usual? Leave a comment and let me know. Tamawashi has done some training this week, and I'm sure you've seen some of the pictures floating around social media. He's been training against some lower ranked Rikishi and has proceeded to take them on a wild journey of enthusiastic and inventive ways to practice, as he has his eyes on the prize and is aiming for that fourth straight Basho where he gets a Kimboshi against Yokozuna Terunofuji. He is the fifth Rikishi since the Showa era to get 3 straight Kimboshi from the same Yokozuna. The last time that happened was way back in the 1950s. He said with a real sense of confidence, "I'm certainly looking forward to that. My tachi-ai speed is lacking, so I'm aiming to improve that. I'm always going for feel-good sumo. I'm not that skilled, so if I can utilize my power, the wins will follow." Shohozan retired. We used to train together a lot. I spoke to him on the phone and he told me he is now relaxed and asked me to gambarize. When talking about the longevity of his career, he said, "I feel I will continue as long as I am able to make the fans who come to watch me happy with my own brand of sumo. I want to get another Yusho for my kids." Who wants Tamawashi to take that 4th straight Kimboshi from the Yokozuna? Or who wants to see Teru not let that happen? Let me know down below. I love the mountain that squats, but I'd be a liar if I didn't want to see that. I wouldn't even be mad if he did get that second Yusho. He's a hard worker, hence the nickname, the Iron Man of Sumo. Up next, we have future Yokozuna Kiribayama, currently Maegashira 1, and yes, that is how I will introduce him in my videos from now on until he gets there. Kiribayama has his sights set on a 3rd straight double-digit win Basho. He was quoted as saying, "The long-awaited Daigeko was great. It's going to be about a day, so I will be properly doing it. I'm properly thinking of doing my own sumo, win or lose. I was able to face many types of Rikishi doing all kinds of sumo, and I managed to deal with each one of them. Today, I had my usual 15 bouts or so against the young ones of the hair. Right now, I'm about 140 kilos. Should I go up to 145? Looking at my Oyakata, who, guys, is the ex-Kirishima, now Michinoko Oyakata. He went on to say, he was quite well built and around that weight. Watching his old bouts, I'm convinced I don't need to put on any more kilos. I will gambarize while aiming to be like my Oyakata in his active days. I'm not there yet, but I hope to get there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Kiribayama, guys. Except anything negative, that is of course banned. Next up, a wee update for Hoshoryu and that hurt foot. He still has the foot wrapped up and has been sticking to more basic training the last few days, but it does not look like he has any intention of not competing this Nagoya Basho. Pusher thruster Sekiwaki Daisho is in full training mode. He said this week, "It's going without saying that I am aiming upwards and I truly want to get there, but I've only had one double-digit win, meaning recently, guys. So I don't want to rush things and hope to go about the Basho as usual." At the time of this interview, he hadn't arrived in Nagoya yet and was training at the Hayes location in Saitama, facing men like Endo, Tobizaru, Tsurugisho and Dayamami for 15 bouts, and said, "I think I'm training well. It's hot in Nagoya, so I will be monitoring my body properly." This will be his second Basho as Sekiwaki. The first time around he went 5'10". He said, "I planned on going about it as usual back then, but I was overthinking things, I guess. The difference between then and now is I am still planning on going on about it as usual, but I'm already used to that feeling, so this time it's going to be different. When Daisho is good, he is good, and he seems to have raised his game lately, so I see him secure his needed 8 wins, maybe more, no problem. But if you disagree, then let me know." And finally, Juryo man, definitely worth bringing up here, is the latest rising star of Asigahama Bear, Atamifuji, who had an interview recently and said he does around 60 to 70 practice bouts a day, 70 being his main goal. From bouts with lower ranked Rikishi in the hair to the men of Makauchi like Yokozuna Terunofuji, Takarafuji, Terutsuyoshi and more, he hopes he will be able to energize and bring cheer to the people of his hometown of Atami in Shizuoka Prefecture, where part of his Shikona comes from, as the 1-year anniversary of the Atami landslides just passed by. And that's it for this episode of the Sumo News. Thank you for watching, and thank you again to Kintamayama for his translations. Follow him with the link in the description below. And Sumo fans, as always, never forget, like, subscribe, hit that bell. Owatanage!